Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dry Down, where we aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the different facets, aromas, and nuances from scent cigars to wines. Today I'll be doing a capsule selection, including two of the very best ambergris-based fragrances that you can put in your collection, and also a mid-spring to mid-summer Chardonnay that is one that is for winding down, even picnics and backyard barbecues. If this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and let's enhance. So everyone, as I stated, let's get into the pour first. Today I'm presenting to you Francis Ford Coppola's 2019 Diamond Edition Chardonnay, which is a United States wine. It's California region. This is a dry, golden hued wine that is 14% ABV. It is a screw top wine, which makes it very, very convenient. It is bursting with taste profiles of a very crisp Granny Smith apple, pear, apricot, a nice creme brulee, buttery taste and profile with that aroma, and also slight hints of tropical fruit and oak. This type of wine here is one that I enjoy with shellfish, grilled salmon, grilled white meat, I'd say like pheasant, grilled chicken, chicken burgers, things of that sort is great with this particular wine, as with most Chardonnays, but this one here is so vibrant and so mouth-watering, and the taste profile that is so profound that those particular things, the shellfish, the salmon or whitefish, cod, all those will go great with this particular wine. So as I said, this is a wine here that I love the fragrant white orange blossom florals that you get from this particular dry wine. It is a full-bodied and lush California Chardonnay that with a nice tropical fruit and ripe red and green apple along with ripe melon, comes off a tad bit smoky from the oak, and it has a vanilla undertone, what makes it nice and semi-sweet, almost like a demi-sec. And this one here also has a nice stormy earthy minerality to it that gives me nice feel and body with my tongue. The palate is always popping off with this particular wine. I like this as and how it finishes with bright acidity. So when I have it with those grilled seafoods and those grilled chicken dishes, it comes off spectacularly. Right now, for me, having this wine this weekend, capping off a wonderful beginning up to my summer. This is the first summer weekend that we've had, and this is our second bottle having. I actually got this bottle for Father's Day, and I've been enjoying it very much so this weekend. It's one that's taken me by a little bit of a surprise that I had never picked it up, but I enjoy the way this one tastes. Like I said, it has buttery undertones, vanillic taste to it, finished in oak, so you can feel that nuttiness on your tongue. The palate feel is wonderful. The body, the taste is jumping off the tongue at all times, and it's one that I've enjoyed thoroughly this weekend. You can smell, when you put this aroma to your nose, that green and red apple is a pronounced note that you will all in love with. It is very, very wonderfully done. Pineapple. And as I said, nice floral touch to it, white blossom type of florals, somewhere in the line of like a petit grain, orange blossom, and jasmine. You'll get that in this particular wine as well. Very nice done wine. This is Francis Coppola's 2019 Diamond Collection Chardonnay. Great for white meats, great for grilled fish, great for grilled shellfish, great with shrimp and pasta, great with linguine, Italian dishes that are light and flavorful. This is a very good wine for those occasions. I give this wine, if I was to do a rating system of, I would give it an 8.9 out of 10, which makes it a very high wine. It is one that I found in my local grocer for $14. So it's mid-range for Chardonnays, but it's nice entry as well. That's my final assessment for the 2019 Coppola Chardonnay. A very nice wine to start your weekend with. A wind down type of wine. Very vibrant, nice acidity. The aromas are popping with fresh apple, aromas of tropical fruits, buttery, creme brulee style of sweetness, and it goes down the palate and it's very refreshing to your mouth. And like I said, the aromas are wonderful in this wine. That is Francis Coppola's 2019 Diamond Chardonnay. Next up, guys, you know when it comes to these fragrances, man, I love speaking what I am finding about these fragrances to all my fellow aromaphiles, aroma heads out there. And this here is 40 Knots made by Xerjoff for their JTC, which is Join the Club acronym. This fragrance is one that passed me by for many years until last year it started to pop up all over the scene as far as the community of fragrance heads on YouTube and Instagram. And I was wondering why, and I finally pulled the trigger mid-summer. And even when I pulled the trigger, I just couldn't get what everyone was talking about. Over the winter time, when I started to include this in my wardrobe for winter fragrances, spring fragrances, and now summer fragrances, I'm seeing what everyone else was talking about when they started to fall in love in the indulgence of what 40 Knots does for them as a fragrance. This thing is a very nicely done, woody, animalic, ambergris fragrance that comes off selenic, just oceanic, green, aromatic. It is a alluring microcosm of everything that you want in a summer fragrance if you're not a freshy head, so to speak. And this thing for me, I see myself now, once I come to what it is that I can see myself putting my mind frame around what it does, I see myself wearing this fragrance non-stop this summer. The woody notes seem to me to be a concoction of soft akagala wood, like a patchouli derivative with that greenness to it. It also a nice sandalwood and a cedar accord that just entwine themselves together and run concurrent, and that woody base over or undertoning the ambergris and oceanic vibe for this with very slight citruses to it. This fragrance is a hit for me right now. I can't believe how I slept on it and then how I didn't get it. But that's the journey that we're on right now with these fragrances. This is a very, very beautiful fragrance that I suggest anyone get their nose on. It is one that has lasted on me. The transition, when it opens, you get the cedar, the woody notes, the aromatic notes, and that slight ozonic, oceanic vibe. But when it settles, that ambergris is sitting on your skin, and it is a banger. And today, for me, what I did, and I didn't conclude it at first, but I started to wear the Dior Ambre Nuit throughout the wintertime, which is one of my favorite winter. It's actually a 4-season scent for me, but wintertime is when I really started to pull it out with suits and cardigans and things of the sort. And it envelops you in an aura that is just a super romantic fragrance for me. It's a date night fragrance, very suggestive, very sexual, sexy as hell. You can't get around saying that for this fragrance. Anybody who puts their nose on it knows the vibe. And what I'm seeing with these two, the only contrasting feel that I get between these two is one has rose and one has an oceanic vibe. And so for me, the reasons that I would have pulled out and done anything as far as trying to catch a vibe, trying to get whatever I wanted out of Dior, I'm now seeing that they would basically become interchangeable for me when it comes to splitting the do I want to wear it with a rose or do I want to wear it with the oceanic vibe? Slightly selenic, slightly animalic. Because both of these fragrances, if you put these on and you're going on a date night, you put these on, you're going to a movie, a nice air-conditioned setting with your ladies, you're going out with your man, you put these fragrances on, especially Dior Nuit, there's no one, you're going to have heads turning with these two particular fragrances. I've been just enthralled by the projection of both of them. Now, Dior for me, once it gets to that peppercorn, that red pepper vibe, and the ambergris along with that rose, it's a settling fragrance that once someone comes in and they get inside of your 1 foot bubble, it is an alluring fragrance that creates a great sensual and sexuality about it and has that person that you're around, you know, you very much so become a figure of fantasy around with that particular fragrance. Not so much with the 40 Nuts. The 40 Nuts has a similar animalic vibe to it, but the Oceanic turns it into a fragrance of allure and attraction, but one that is not so sexual and sensual as Ambre Nuit. But at the same time, I'm going to try it in the coming weeks. I didn't ever think about it until just now. I'm going to try it, layering these two fragrances to see what I get. But I'm in love with both of them. As I said, the rose nuance with that pink peppercorn and the ambergris from Ambre Nuit, along with the vibe that I'm getting from 40 Knots, it is going to be a standout staples fragrance for my collection when I'm going out this summer with linen blazers, if I'm going out to a nice steakhouse, if I'm going out to a nice seafood restaurant, if we're out on the boat and we're going to stop off at one of the restaurants along the lake shore. This is the fragrance that I'm going to pull out because of the lasting power of it. For one, it lasts for 6 to 7 hours on my skin along with Nuit, but it projects a little bit higher in its ambergris and woody tones, which I'm going to see how that makes me feel throughout the summer evenings. But as it stands, I'm falling in love with these two fragrances as a companionship. The 40 Knots came on my radar last year, like I said. It's knocking my boots off this summer and spring, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. But for right now, I'm letting you guys know that these two fragrances together, you already know Ambre Nuit, but 40 Knots, banger. You guys can get your hands on it and see how a sample goes for you. Give it a chance, give it a few wears, because for me, usually I can see a fragrance where I'm going to see in my collection if I'm going to like it, love it, dislike it. This one here was one that I kind of put back and say I just didn't get it. But now, the sweetness, the animalic tones, the woody tones, the green notes, the aromatic feel to it. Very beautiful fragrance. Get your nose on it. And I'm going to say right now, off the top of my head, I'm going to surely give this fragrance an 8. 8.5 possibly, because I've been wearing it. I'm like, man, this is one beautiful fragrance. I can't believe how I passed it up for so long on the market, and then when I got it, I didn't come adjusted to it. But I digress. Great fragrances, great Chardonnay. The 2019 Coppola Chardonnay is one that I said, white fish, grilled white fish, chicken, pasta dishes with clams, pasta dishes with shrimp, and also shellfish, and also these two ambergris based fragrances, one with rose, one with aquaticness, both bangers. Get your nose on it, get your taste profile around these. The aromas on each is beautiful. The Chardonnay, we're going to go off this evening and finish this bottle off and have a good nightcap. You guys have a blessed week this coming first week of summer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As I always like to say, you guys, I love the support. If you found anything educational or entertaining with this particular video, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you guys are feeling for your fragrances this coming summer. Let me know how you guys are coming along with the recommendations I'm doing with the Chardonnays. Next is going to be a couple more white Zinfandels I'm going to put out, maybe even some nice sweet Moscatos for you ladies. Let me know which ones I'm feeling, which ones I have my company tasting, and what I get in third-party feedback. And I'll let you guys know in the upcoming videos. As I always say, you guys stay blessed, stay positive, be optimistic about your outlooks, and then everything's going to be all right for you. Peace.